Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Thursday, the 8th of September, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar index. We see this is still looking very strong on the long term. Remembering this is my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute chart, long term, medium term, and short term view of the market, and the corresponding point and figure targets. And we're above the cloud on all three time frames there, so we're bullish. If we're above the cloud, we're bullish. If we're below, we're bearish. It's really that simple. And here we have the corresponding upside target. So dollar still looking strong, and that means the euro is looking weak. We are coming back to nudge this €1 mark, the parity level from below, but the reality is, now that's been broken, we've got these downside targets and the long-term downside targets, and again, we've written reports on that. Sterling sitting just below that 115 level. We've had the lowest level since 1985 against the dollar, so that's been talked about when we nudged 114 yesterday. But again, clearly in a downtrend against that stronger dollar. Bitcoin has recovered a little bit, just above 19,000. And if we look at the S&P 500 index, that had quite a good bounce yesterday. So looking a bit better there, but just testing cloud support here. We're wandering through on the price. So remembering that if we see a lower low, that is really very, very bad for equity markets, and we do have these downside targets hanging over us. The futures this morning flat. You see the S&P mini there down 0.05%, so we are flat there. And if we look at the DAX in Germany, that is still struggling. Despite that strong performance, this market is now well and truly below the cloud, and so European markets not looking as good. The Aussie market actually recovered the losses from the day before, up 1.7%, so looking a little bit better there. We'll look at the energy mix in a minute. Gold just sitting above the 1700 level, just really can't move above there, so we've just got to wait for the break there. US 10-year yield sitting at 3.25%, just nudging new highs there. And of course, we've got big targets here. 3.27 was the target given, and we met that. So we've just got to watch that. And if we look at the 30-year bond yield, we see that we've actually got a target to 4.5% there. So that is just a sign that we are going to, and we're going to have another target kicking through on this column as well. We can actually just preempt that. So it's going to be quite interesting. 4.86, 4.5. So interest rates in the US are set to go higher based on those yields. Looking at the energy mix, we've got Brent crude up slightly this morning. We went out with our report on energy, and if we look at the daily energy call, we were pretty negative on most things. The newly negative things from neutral yesterday, still neutral on power, but we are seeing gas and power just testing those lows. And you can go back, of course, and just look through the reports and see how those stances have changed with all the trends and targets, of course. So looking at US nat gas, that's looking a little bit weaker. Really just hit that resistance at $10, but still above the cloud there. We've got downside targets, hence we were negative this morning. We've got lots of downside targets. So bearish today, but bullish long term, and that's resolving the trends. Coal looking very strong indeed, still nudging that 350 level on API2. Emissions looking very bearish, back below 70. And again, we were bearish there this morning, and we went out as bearish on gas as well, and that's just deteriorating. We're below that 200 level. That's going to be quite a critical level on TTF, and on MBP we're down below 400, so that's quite key as well. And German power, we're sitting at 515. Got to hold that 500 level. We've nudged that this morning, so that's quite key as well. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.